A delicious and simple dinner recipe. I prepared it in just 30 to 40 minutes, which was enough for 2 days for me and my boyfriend. For the dish, I used approximately 300 grams of pork. You can use chicken, beef, or even fish, it doesn't matter. Cut the meat into small pieces to ensure that it cooks well and quickly, forming an appetizing crust. I used boneless meat, so I cut it very quickly. I cut it into portions and put the meat in small batches in a hot frying pan with sunflower oil. Then I start cutting the next pieces for frying. I carefully mix the meat so that nothing burns. The sizzling sound is delicious and appetizing. After cutting and adding all the meat to the pan, I start cutting the onions. I use a medium-sized onion. I cut it into medium pieces. First, I cut it crosswise, then lengthwise, and then crosswise again to prevent the onion juice from causing tears. I hold my breath and avoid inhaling the smell of chopped onions. This helps. I don't cry anymore when I cut a lot of onions at once. Or I can cut the onions into half rings if I'm feeling lazy, like this time. I cut the whole onion and put it all in the pan, stirring it thoroughly. If the meat is stuck to the pan, the onions help to clean the bottom of the pan from the meat drippings. Next, I take a scale, a plate, and pour the rice into the plate. I decided to add 180 grams of dry rice to make the meat stand out and avoid overcrowding the dish. You can use more or less rice depending on your preference. I then thoroughly rinse the rice until the water runs clear. I don't like rinsing rice. After that, I take a small pot, pour in the washed rice, add salt, and fill with cold water so that the water level is 2 centimeters above the rice in the pot. I then stir the rice to ensure that it is evenly distributed. This helps to achieve a fluffy texture for the rice. Once the water begins to boil, I reduce the heat to a minimum and cook the rice until it has absorbed all the water. The rice is now ready. I add sweet peppers to the meat, which are already cut into small pieces. I add corn and sliced mushrooms. I mix everything thoroughly. Next, I add a few tablespoons of soy sauce to the meat. It replaces salt. That's why I don't add salt. I also add sweet chili sauce and a few spoonfuls of tomato sauce. Mix thoroughly until smooth. When the rice is ready, I pour it over the meat and mix it. I cover the pan with a lid and simmer the dish for another 5 or 10 minutes. And now the dish is ready. Next, I make a light salad. I take a juicy tomato and cut it into small pieces. Pour it into a plate. I take some onions and chop them as finely as I can, then add them to the tomatoes. I add mayonnaise and salt to taste and mix everything together. The dinner is ready, so I serve it and enjoy it. Bon appetit!